from destroying false allegations
This woman claimed that I beat her up in a nightclub because she was a lesbian. Bitch, I didn't even know you was a woman.
to warning the woke warriors watching this video.
And if you at home watching this show on Netflix, remember, bitch, you clicked on my face.
Here are 7 times Dave Chappelle destroyed the woke culture, starting with the time Dave was venting about the state of modern America.
It's too hard to entertain a country whose ears are so brittle. Everything you say upsets somebody.
And Dave knew where the woke pandemic started from.
You know, I can remember when it all started. It was when I was doing Chappelle show. I used to do the show, and then on the weekends I do like concerts and shit like that. So I'm doing a concert, and there was a couple in the front row, beautiful couple. The wife was obviously Asian. You could see it in her face.
But while the husband's ethnicity was ambiguous, the wife's personality was as clear as day.
The husband, this motherfucker, was mysterious, to say the least. Caramel-colored fella, very nice hair, but it could have been from anywhere. All I knew for sure about this guy was that his wife was a bitch.
When Dave realized the reason behind her hate, however, he instantly tried to make amends.
I could see that in her face, too. No, he was laughing and having a good time, and she was scowling at me at a goddamn comedy show. And then I realized at some point that she was pregnant, and I was smoking on stage. I said, oh my God, that's probably why she's mad. So I started to put my cigarette out.
But Dave would have continued being polite if the woman hadn't put her ego on full display.
Then she hit me with one of them fake non-smoker calls. So I just kept smoking. I thought to myself, bitch, that baby will be fine, relax. I said, I go, hey, where are you guys from anyway? She says, I'm from California.
And Dave wasn't going to let that attitude slide unchecked.
If you are asking my ethnicity, I am Chinese. And her husband was just cool about this. He was like, I'm Mexican, bro. I said, well, I'm sorry if I offended you by asking, but you're a very beautiful couple. And miss, there's no question that you're gonna give birth to the hardest working baby this world has ever seen.
But when she tried to fight back while leaving, Dave sent her off with Chinese fireworks.
She got very upset. She got up to leave immediately. I will never buy one of your DVDs again, Dave Chappelle. I said, ma'am, with all due respect, Chinese people don't buy DVDs.
What should have ended as a walkout, however, turned into an outrage campaign.
And then just 3 days later, this lady sends a fucking letter to my promoter because I was, quote, racist, and sensitive to the nature of my interracial marriage. I was like, word, I was.
But Dave had one Asian plot twist that the woman never saw coming.
If she had just done a little bit of research, she would know that I myself am in an interracial marriage. That's right. In fact, my wife is Asian too. Surprise, bitch. I'll see you on Thanksgiving.
And that wasn't Dave's first rodeo with a woman who cried wolf to the press, because he talked about another such Karen in his Netflix special, The Closer.
About 6 years ago, there was a lesbian woman that tried to sell a story about me to TMZ. Thank goodness TMZ could see right through the sham of that story. This woman claimed that I beat her up in a nightclub because she was a lesbian. That is fucking crazy. Bitch, I didn't even know you was a woman.
But Dave had a striking plot twist for people who got too comfortable with that story.
Thank God TMZ didn't believe that. Because I did beat the shit out of her, I'm not gonna lie. I came in the club minding my own business, and a woman came up to me. She goes, oh my God, Dave Chappelle. And I was just being reciprocally nice. Hey, miss, how are you? Blah, blah, blah. Benign talk, nothing to it.
In a span of just a few seconds, however, a fan meet almost turned into a fight.
And all of a sudden, this lesbian fellow stepped between us. Hey, nigga, that's my girl. I said, yo, my man, back up like that. She said, I ain't backing up off shit, nigga. That's my girl. I said, bro, you're gonna have to give me 3 feet like this.
And Dave had no idea that his diffusing words actually added fuel to the fire.
She said, stop calling me a man, motherfucker. I'm a woman. I said, what? And I looked deep in this nigga's cheekbones. I said, oh my God, you are a woman. I unballed my fist immediately.
But Dave made it clear that his hands were rated E for everyone.
I softened my posture so that she would know she's in no danger. I even changed the tone of my voice, sweetly, like a pimp might say. Bitch, I'm about to slap the shit out of you.
And that provoking turned out to be the last straw on the lesbian's back.
I shouldn't have done it. She dropped that foot back. Boop. She was in a perfect southpaw stance. Her shoulders were angled correctly. Her head movement was good. I said, oh no! This bitch box is for real.
But Dave Chappelle decided it was time to move on from punchline to punch time.
She threw a wild hook at me and I saw it coming from yesterday, so I slipped it like this. Let that jab go. You should have seen me go, nigga. I tenderized them tits like chicken cutlets. I whooped the toxic masculinity out of that bitch.
But while Dave gave the Karen a beatdown, later in the show, he explained that he supported feminism even when his friends didn't.
Listen, I support the feminist movement. I do, in my own ways. When you guys did the Women's March, I tried to go and support you. And none of my friends would go with me. I asked all the fellas, none of them wanted to go. I tried everything. Come on, y'all, it's gonna be bitch there. They was like, nope.
And while his friends denied, Dave soon hit the jackpot for a rally partner.
So what I did is I called my friend Ange. Ange is a black woman. Matter of fact, she's the only woman that I know personally that pays her ex-husband alimony. And she sounds just like a man when she does it. Fuck that broke motherfucker and all that. She says all that shit.
Response was completely opposite to what the PC police expected.
So I hit Ange up, and I hit her on the text. And all I did, I texted, I said, Ange, are you going to the Women's March? She said, I hope those white bitches tear gassed.
And Dave had an Oscar-worthy truth bomb for the entire woke movement.
I supported the Me Too movement. I thought that the way they handled that was stupid. They would be like, let's all go to the Golden Globes and wear black dresses.
But Dave's sarcasm kept turning deadlier.
You think Martin Luther King's gonna be like, I want everybody to keep riding the bus, but wear matching outfits. I want everybody to wear crocheted pussy hats so they know we're serious.
And when even Hollywood came after him, Dave hit them with a resume they couldn't match.
All these women actresses came after me. I said, man, f y'all too, you canceled. I ain't jerking off to none of your pictures again. They were like, who is he to tell us anything? I'll tell you exactly who I am. I'm the one that got off the bus and left $50 million on the bus and walked.
Unfortunately for Dave, the closer would turn out to be one of his most successful yet controversial specials. And he saw the worst of the movement when he returned to perform at his high school, Duke Ellington.
And the last time I came back, after the closer, when the kids were mad at me, I gotta tell you, that was quite the day. All the kids were screaming and yelling. I remember I said to the kids, I go, well, okay, well, what do you guys think I did wrong? And a line formed. These kids said everything about gender and this and that and the other, but they didn't say anything about art. And this is my biggest gripe with this whole controversy with the closer, that you cannot report on an artist's work and remove artistic nuance from his words.
But Dave knew the script didn't come from classroom chatter.
That day, when I heard those talking points coming out of these children's faces, that really, sincerely hurt me. Because I know those kids didn't come up with those words. I've heard those words before.
And Dave made it crystal clear on why telling him don't only makes him do it louder.
The more you say I can't say something, the more urgent it is for me to say it. It has everything to do with my right, my freedom of artistic expression, that it's not separate from me.
But Dave wasn't finished handing out reality checks, saving an artistic one for the critics of his masterpiece.
3 weeks ago, I saw in the newspaper that they said a man that was dressed in women's clothing threw a pie at the Mona Lisa and tried to deface it. And it made me laugh because I'm like, it's like the closer. I said it to the kids that day, if you have a better idea, then express it. And you can beat me.
And when the school offered Dave to name it after him, his response wasn't the yes they were expecting.
So on Friday, I decided that I don't want my name on the school. Hear me out. I'm not gonna say I don't want it. I'm gonna say I'll defer it. Rather than give this theater my name, I would like to give these students my message to them.
But when Dave did reveal the name, it was a billboard for the freedom woke culture tries to censor.
The new name of this theater, the Gerard Carmichael Theater. I'm just kidding. I'm totally joking. The Theater for Artistic Freedom and Expression.
But while Dave supported expression, the New York Times took it to a whole new level when they covered the Louis C.K. controversy.
Ladies and gentlemen, these are dark times. New York Times said that Louis C.K. jizzed on his own stomach. You know, I've busted a lot of nuts in my day. None of them were newsworthy.
But even while discussing a serious scandal, Dave couldn't control his natural instincts.
I mean, you know, all these allegations are terrible. Louis was the only... I shouldn't say this, but his allegation was the only one that made me, like, laugh. It's terrible. I know, it's terrible. I'm sorry, ladies. You're right. You are right. Jesus Christ, they took everything from Louis.
And it didn't take long for Dave to snap the victim out of her exaggerated delusions.
It might be disproportionate. I can't tell. One lady said, Louis C.K. masturbating in front of me ruined my comedy dreams. Word? Well, then I dare say, madam, you may have never had a dream.
But Dave also revealed that the woke culture may have shadier connections than what most think.
That is a brittle-ass spirit. That shit is too much. It's a grown-ass woman. Oh, it sounds f***ed up. I'm not supposed to say that, but one of these ladies was like, Louis C.K. was masturbating while I was on the phone with him. Bitch, you don't know how to hang up a phone? How the fuck are you going to survive in show business if this is an actual obstacle to your dreams?
And when Dave said it was absurd, he had receipts to back it up.
You gotta man the fuck up, yo. Remember when I had like this really popular show and I quit? I remember I walked away from $50 million. A lot harder than walking away from Louis' freckled dick.
And later in the show, Dave put the focus on the core of the problem, the Me Too movement.
Like I can't even say the word Me Too anymore. Nick Knight was like, Dave, I'm going to the comedy club. I was like, I am also going to the comedy club. I didn't even know it was happening, but I guess I became like a feminist in the last 3 weeks because I can't watch porn.
But Dave soon shared that he had unfortunately caught the PC virus.
I watch it sometimes, but I can't click on these motherfucking thumbnails, not with those titles. Guy crams young girl in the ass with hard rod. I can't click on that. Come on, give me something I can click on. Dude gets sucked off by a midget. Little person, I say to myself.
And with every fake title, Dave's satire only got sharper.
Takes me hours to find one clip. Marginally groomed feminist enjoys consensual sex with vaguely homosexual guy with penis the same color as mine. Click.
But sarcasm aside, Dave shared his real thoughts from a father's perspective.
And ladies, I want you to win this fight. 10 years ago, I might have been scared, but you know, I got a daughter now, so if you win, she wins. I'm rooting for you. And I agree with you. At least ideologically, I do. I don't know if you're doing it just right, but I mean, what am I to say?
And Dave's message was something everyone could get behind.
I don't think you're wrong. I just think that you can't make a lasting peace this way. You got all the bad guys scared, and that's good. But the minute they're not scared anymore, it will get worse than it was before. Fear does not make lasting peace. Ask black people.
But while it was just Louis C.K. this time, Dave tells the story of an international celebrity who fell victim to the trigger troops in his special, Sticks and Stones.
Celebrity hunting season. Doesn't matter what I say, they're gonna get everybody eventually. Got poor Kevin Hart. Can you imagine such a thing? Kevin Hart, let me tell you something. It was Kevin Hart's dream to host the Oscars.
And as proud as Dave was, he was equally surprised.
That's what he told me. I remember when he told me because I was thinking to myself, it's an awfully strange dream for an African-American. Kind of nigga dreams of hosting the Oscars. And he did it.
But Kevin's dream was buried by Twitter archaeologists before he even knew what happened.
And he got the job that only one black man before him had. He was gonna host the 80th Oscars. Kevin is precisely 4 tweets shy of being perfect.
And while Dave wanted to talk about it, he was well aware of his location.
10 years ago, Kevin had made some very homophobic comments. Sure, there's a lot of gay men here tonight with their wives.
Dave made sure to insure himself first.
All right, I'll tell you what he said. Okay, Kevin said if his little son was demonstrating or exhibiting homosexual behavior around the house, that he'd chastise him. He'd say, hey, that's gay.
And when Kevin said something even worse, Dave instantly switched teams.
And then he said he would smash a dollhouse over that child's head. A lot of gay friends, and all of them, 100% of them, all have told me fucking horror stories about the shit they had to go through just to be themselves.
But little did the morale mafia know that Dave was about to do some friendly fire.
And in all those stories, I gotta say, not one of them has ever mentioned anything like smashing a fuck dollhouse over their head. Because clearly Kevin was joking. You would have to buy this nigga a dollhouse to break it over his head in the first place. Does that sound right? Is anybody gonna do that?
And in one stone, Dave hit both the rainbow bird and the hypocritical bird.
The gay community was upset, and then they put so much pressure on the Academy of Motion Pictures and Sciences that they went to Kevin and said, if you don't apologize to that community, then you cannot host these Oscars. And then Kevin said, fuck, I quit. Then he went on every talk show in America and apologized for 6 weeks.
For all his roasts, Dave has never turned his back on his community. So when right-wing Candace Owens took a cheap shot at George Floyd, he was ready to swing back.
I was born at 8:46 in the morning, and they killed this nigga in 8 minutes and 46 seconds. I watch everything everybody says. I think Candace Owens try to convince white America, don't worry about it, he's a criminal anyway.
But Dave quickly gave Candace a public funeral for her stupid take.
I don't give a fuck what this is. Can't personally kick Candace Owens in her stinky pussy. I don't know if it stinks, but I imagine it does. And if I ever find out, I'll let you know for sure. I'll tell like Azealia Banks, I'll tell.
And after her opinions, Dave went after Candace's IQ next.
Candace Owens, that rotten bitch. She's the worst. I can't think of a worse way to make money. She's so articulate, she can tell you how fucking stupid she is precisely. Oh, he was this, he did that, and he's a drug addict.
And for that, Dave gave her a dose of reality that was too bitter for her to swallow.
And he's not a hero. And why does the black community make him a hero? Why do you choose him as a hero? We didn't choose him. You did. They killed him, and that wasn't right, so he's the guy. We're not desperate for heroes in the black community. Any nigga that survives this nightmare is my goddamned hero.
And even if he's jailed for his controversial takes, Dave is completely prepared for the experience.
God forbid I ever go to jail. But if I do, I hope it's in California. Because as soon as the judge sentences me, I'll be like, Your Honor, before you sentence me, I just want the court to know I identify as a woman. Send me to woman's jail.
And Dave's feminism wasn't going to stop in a prison yard.
And as soon as I get in there, you know what I'm gonna be doing? I'm a girl just like you, bitch. Come over here and suck this girl I got. Don't make me explain myself. I'm a girl.
But after schooling the inmates, Dave educated the audience next.
I learned one of the most valuable lessons of my life, and I have to share with you. The strongest dream in that moment wins that moment. I am a very powerful dreamer.
And that nugget of wisdom rolled into his take on the Will Smith controversy.
That's why I don't judge between Will Smith and Chris Rock. I look at them as fellow dreamers because I see myself in both of them.
But no matter the discussion, Dave always found room for a quick trans roast.
Men make boundaries, and no man tests more boundaries than a trans man. When I see a fellow dreamer, I give them my utmost respect. I know a dreamer when I see one.
And the next fellow dreamer on his list wore gold, glitter, and zero shame.
And I've met many powerful dreamers in my life. None more powerful than a man who calls himself Little Nas X. I met this nigga at a party. I had no idea who he was.
Dave quickly found himself stunned by Little Nas's sci-fi fashion statement.
Everybody in the party was another dreamer. He was dressed like C-3PO. He was shining. This Little Nas X. I didn't know who he was. And for some reason, out of all them dreamers, he walked right up to me.
And Dave quickly noted that Little Nas's dreams might be turning into delusions.
He said, I tried to get you in my video. What? I said, what? What video? He just looked at me like, you know what video, and walked away. And I watched him walk away. I said, man, this nigga's having a very powerful dream.
Proving that even someone as famous as Lil Nas X can't escape Dave's callouts on woke culture.